Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse. Tonight we are looking at the one and only album from the band, Riggs. It's the One and Done series. We're looking at the 1982 album, so let's go.
Talking bands no one talks about. Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Holy crap, boy, that was cutting it short. And you know what? We are live, ladies and gentlemen. And John the Music Nut came in right at the very last minute.
That's right.
And, you know, the show must go on because you know how I am. But we are here, and I need to fix this screen real quick while we're talking.
That dog's head is precariously close to John's head.
We've lost his head, and it didn't save it. Oh, there. Wait a minute. We're almost there, everybody. But this is what makes live so much fun.
You got
it's exciting.
Or not.
So, all right, we're good. That works for me.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so anyway, hey. Welcome, everybody. We are live. It's Grant's Rock Warehouse. We have a excellent victim tonight in our One and Done series. Of course, I want to welcome Ernesto, DC, and John the Music Nut here tonight. BM Bolt has a date with the trophy wife tonight, so he will have to tend to her needs. But we will carry on without him because that's the way we do it. I can make that a little bit better.
And by the way, BM Bolt came up with this topic, just to let you all know out there, ladies and
gentlemen. He came up with it, but he, you know what happened is that he wrote down the wrong date.
Oh, that can happen.
Yeah,
that can happen.
But, you know, he has to, tend to his trophy wife. I will say that.
You got to spend the time.
I want to thank everybody in the chat. Slowly, people are coming.
Yeah.
Logan has good evening. Young Logan.
Hey, Logan.
Hi, Logan.
There he is. Ready to have a one night, of course.
Nah, nobody cares.
We got Lounged Weller. I bought this album on the cassette cutout, been in the mid '90s.
Oh wow!
Later on CD when it was reissued by Wounded Bird. Holy crap! Are you saying that this thing was stuck around in the cutout bin all the way to the mid '90s?
Wow. God, that's crazy.
Murgatroyd, wow.
This impressed young Logan and said, awesome. Jonathan, hello.
Hey, Jonathan.
Coming at you live. We're live. Yeah, that's what we do. We do live here in the warehouse. We've done a lot of live shows this week.
It was on night shift,
that's pretty cool. Sick. Oh, yeah, Grant, what a trooper. You look like you're doing much better tonight.
Oh, I feel great today.
Good. And that's a good little bit of trivia there by Lounge Dweller, that not only for the heavy metal soundtrack did Riggs appear, but also a couple of their tracks on the Night Shift film from '82.
That's
so these guys were getting some exposure.
Yeah. They were all Marlon's here.
Marlon.
Coming. I'm not sure how many people we're going to get. It's Friday night. This is like Russian roulette. People don't watch shows on Friday night, but our diehard Grant's Rock Warehouse Patreons will show up, I think, maybe.
They're out there looking for those one-night affairs.
Exactly.
I'm scared to see the mailman if I saw that pooch on my next stop.
Oh, Logan, I think I mentioned before, that dog, that face is eerily reminiscent of one that latched on to young DC's rear end on his paper route back in the day. And man, that dog would jump at the front door every time I put the newspaper up there. One day someone left the side door open, and 1 year's worth of anger that dog wanting to get to me is encapsulated in that dog's face on that Riggs album. That's what I saw coming after me back in the day.
Oh, wait a minute. This is Jonathan's first time here.
Oh, wow. Cool.
For God's sakes, welcome aboard. Please subscribe. Make sure you please subscribe, damn it. I'm just saying. There. Did you give him the sound effect piece? Is that the sound effect?
I did. I'll give
him this. Normally we're not this. We're a little bit more professional than we are tonight, Jonathan. So, hey, I'm married and an empty nester. What else would I be doing on a Friday night?
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true.
Changing the bulbs in your weed lamps. I don't know.
Your life
No,
changes
mine-
as you move, as you move through,
Well, anyway,
through.
Jonathan, welcome aboard. Nice to see you. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about this record. This is just a weird thing because, as we've heard, this record was lingering in the cutout bins clear into the 90s. So no one knew about it.
Yeah.
This is where Jerry Riggs, who is a guitar player for Knoxville, Tennessee, he now is playing in 38 Special. If anybody doesn't know, great guitar
No, I
player.
didn't
You
know
can
that.
tell by his work on this record. There's some stunning guitar work on it. But originally his career started out in a band called Lynx, which was a bar band back in the 70s. They have ended up moving to Atlanta. Some lineup changes. Eventually, Riggs. The band became Riggs to some degree. I think the original band was called Raggedy Ann. They had a lot of, you have bands, people come and go, things change. So the band became Raggedy Ann. Then it turned to Riggs, and they did some demos. They ended up on the heavy metal soundtrack. They ended up producing this one and only Riggs album. I must say that the two songs on heavy metal were Radar Rider, and Heartbeat. Now, neither one of these songs appear on this album, so just letting you know that. But I know, you know what? I know we talked about this record, but I cannot for the life of me how we decided to do this record now. Does anybody remember? Was it you, John? It was BM Bolt came up with it, right?
He came up with it, and then right after we said goodbye to each other that night, I looked up the album on eBay, and it said that it was going to be coming out as a new release. Well, not a new release, but a remaster release tomorrow. So I checked my local record store, the Gallery of Sound, and they were going to have it there the following day. So I checked it out on YouTube, and I listened to a few tracks. I'm like, oh, wow, this is right up my alley. This is good. Yeah. So I reached out to you, Grant. Well, I reached out to all of you, and I said, Byron's onto something here. This is really good. And then you had said, hey, I just saw it on Wounded Bird. I'm going to pick it up. And then it just
blew into this.
Exactly.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, talking about this one. Well, I have to say, I'm not going to say what I feel yet, but I kind of like it. But the other thing I wanted to mention, because I'm going to be all over the place, that Jerry Riggs also played with Pat Travers.
Yes.
And wasn't he on like the Radioactive album? Does anybody have the details of that?
I've got that album back in the archives there. I could check the liner notes on that.
But I'm pretty sure he might have been on a couple of records. Of course you do.
Just don't ask Denny to go look for it in the
Jonathan,
archives.
You're going to learn that Ernesto has a lot of things on 8-track. Say that again, John. What?
Oh, I was saying to DC, just don't get Denny to go back in the archives to look for that for you.
Denny's on a very short leash, John. I don't know if you heard the scuttlebutt through the
I did.
I Warehouse.
watched the show.
Oh, he is on a very short leash.
Nearly fall off the couch listening.
So Marlon says he came Pat Travers in 83.
Right. Thank you, Marlon.
That's about that time.
Because this record came out in 82 and it didn't do anything. And they basically broke up. They couldn't get any traction, didn't make any kind of impact.
Aren't you kind of astounded by that, given the exposure on heavy metal, and then on that other film that they had songs in circulation on these films, but their own album could not gain any sort of traction at all?
I'm surprised because when I listen to this record, I'm going, why did this not do anything at all?
Certainly that album cover is going to get your attention too.
Well, I don't know. That might have been what killed it.
But not as much as Grand Funk's Born to Die.
Well, if we're looking at album covers, this is a terrible album cover. Born to Die is a better album cover than this. At least when you're looking at Born to Die, it really catches your attention. This just looks kind of like indie release, no budget kind of affair. But hey, put that all out of your mind.
Put it out your mind.
So what we're trying to do in the Warehaus is just turn you on to stuff. There's so much that's been released in the past that's been overlooked, and that's what this one and done series is about. We're looking at these records, these artists that had a failed attempt or whatever, and trying to give these records new life. And well, without further ado, so we don't have to go on all night because I'm just like on medication. I'm going to throw it over to Ernesto first and go down to DC, and then John, and then myself. We're going to do this very much like a Dark Horse album episode where I want to get your synopsis of the record, what you like, what you don't like, and your rating out of 10, and we will compile it at the end, and we will certify this. Well, is this record worth getting? Because literally it did. This record had come out before, but it ended up going back in print. I got my copy directly from Wounded Bird. It was like $10.99. And it was going for more money on Discogs, like used copies. So get it if you can. And the CD sounds really good. So I'm just saying that because I don't know how plentiful vinyl is, or that cassette that ended up in the cutout bin back in the day. I don't know how easy those are. I've never seen it before in my life.
Yeah, that astounds me.
So I'm done blabbing at this moment. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We will talk to everybody in the chat. And if you have heard this, give your rating. We'd like to know. All right, Ernesto, what's your thoughts on this record?
Okay, let me just answer Logan's question about A-Track. I've never seen it on A-Track, but I definitely will pick it up. But no,
I don't know. Did it come out on A-Track?
I'm pretty sure it did. I'm pretty sure.
In 82?
Yeah, in 82. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I have in 82. I mean, you'll be surprised. But you never know.
I don't know.
You never know.
Anyway, go ahead. What do you think about this record?
Well, let me just tell you, I heard the soundtrack to heavy metal, and when I heard those songs, I was like totally surprised that because the songs on the soundtrack don't sound like anything on the album. The album to me sounds better, and just what do you call it? It's a hard rock album that I liked. I didn't get to hear. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't get to hear the whole album, but I only picked up the tracks that stood out to me. Ready or Not, One Night Affair, Over and Over. Oh, all those songs are great. I mean,
great.
All those things are great. Good songs. Especially One Night Affair. That's an AOR classic right there. One Night Affair is like on my top 20. Yeah.
I hate to interrupt, but I get all worked up, Ernesto. It's very catchy. It could have been a hit. Right. It's any bit as good as, I'm just going to say, if a song by Survivor, which would be equally as catchy, but it's in that genre.
That's so funny that you brought up Survivor, because for some reason, as I listened to this album, that was the one band that came blazing to mind for some reason.
Right. But that only came to, I don't know about you, Ernesto, but at least in my mind and DC's mind, at least like on One Night Affair, it really did. But I'm not saying that it does on the whole record.
Yeah.
But
it just might have planted that seed.
Anyway, go ahead, because you're going to get interrupted all night, because I'd really like this record a lot.
Let's talk about it. It's all right. Like I said, I didn't get to hear the whole album. I've been so busy, but from the tracks that I picked out, listening to in the car, and believe me, they sound great in the car. I was listening.
You're a go-to in the car there, Ernesto, as far as what
when do you not listen to anything in the car?
Well, I mean, I'm just so busy, so it's like I gotta hear it in the car. If I don't hear it in the car, I'm not gonna hear it anywhere else right now. But all those, Ready or Not is one of the songs that when you hear Ready or Not, man, it sounds like Judas Priest, man. It comes out hard. It comes out hitting hard. It's really a good song. The guitar work is great. The vocals are great. A lot of great harmonies, a lot of catchy hooks. And like I said, Over and Over. Christine is a good song. A lot of the other songs, like I said, get a chance to hear them, but I picked the ones that I like, Ready or Not, One Night Affair, Over and Over. Those are all great songs. So I can't really give this a bad score, even though I only listened to half of the album, but I'm going to give you a really decent quick review and my score.
Nestor, you better watch out because when what's her name was on Sea of Tranquility, it was brutal when she didn't even listen to the record.
Oh yeah, I know. But...
You know how Logan is. Logan, you don't listen to something, Logan will come down hard on you.
I know. These youngsters, I got to watch out for.
That's right.
Anyway, it's a great album. Like I said, catchy hooks, great vocals. Man, the guitar work on this album is great. The drumming is great. It totally blew me away compared to songs from heavy metal, which is totally different. Okay. So when I first heard this album, I go, this is a great album. This is a really good album. I'm really surprised. Like I said, the rest of the tracks I didn't get to do.
Karen.
Yeah, Karen.
Don't be a Karen.
Okay. I'm not going to judge them, and I'm not going to judge the whole album badly, but I'm going to give you my rating there once and for all. I'm going to give it to you. So it's going to be an 8.
Okay. I can go with that. I can accept that.
Good album.
So,
good album.
Okay. You dug it. You thought it was good.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to order it now.
Okay. Well, that's a good enough for me. All right, so we got an 8. All right, let's throw it over to DC Toontime and get his review.
All right.
If you've been following DC and his work, we just completed yet another review in the Grand Funk franchise here on the Warehaus, where we looked at Born to Die. So you might want to check that out in the links below. That was a fun show. That was earlier this week.
Yeah, we're continuing to fly the Grand Funk Railroad flag here. And we're getting a lot of people tuning into those shows too. So I mean, there are a lot of fans. There are a lot of fans out there. So
we will be looking at DC. Tell everyone what we'll be looking at next time.
Well, this is the favorite among many, many Grand Funk fans. And because Grant and I were even talking, like after Shining On, there was a lot of Grand Funk fans that jumped off the bandwagon. So we're going to go to the one that everybody references as their favorite, the Red Album. So that's the next one in the queue.
So, yeah, we'll be looking at that next month. The Red Album.
Yep,
so
Logan,
stay tuned for that.
Young Logan, we're going to answer your prayers.
DC was born to foot stomp.
True that.
Hey, Marlon, we go on tangents all the damn time.
All right. Marlon wants us to stay the course.
Stay
the course.
I know he does. Damn. All right, DC, what's your thoughts on this one?
Okay, now this is a
You did listen to the whole thing.
I bought it. That's how much I like the clips. Oh, let me prove it to you.
Where'd you get it? Did you
order from Wounded Bird? Wounded Bird.
Yeah, you know what I must say before you go into your review, dealing with Wounded Bird was very nice. They're very pleasant.
Oh, yeah.
And I forget the guy who answered the phone, but I think it's the same. It's the One Way guy because he started One Way Records and then that folded and then started Wounded Bird. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but I think he was answering the phone.
Well, normally these operations are kind of like a one-man shop. And you may have the wife or the girlfriend answering the phone, but normally it's not like Grant's Rock Warehouse where we have a staff of how many on that first ship, including that pant load Denny.
Yeah.
Danny's
not that
worthless.
Operation like Wounded Bird's probably a very bare bones.
You know what? Logan, by the way, I know we're on a tangent. It's Friday night. We're having fun. Logan, by the way, is up for Employee of the Month.
That's the skinny. That's the skinny in the lunchroom. Now that's like been spreading like wildfire.
Working his way up into the ranks in the Warehaus.
Yeah, he found like 39 obscure albums for me inside of a half hour while he was commenting on a show. That's
multitasker.
Wow.
Multitasker.
He's very and he dresses well too.
No doubt about it.
All right. Go ahead, DC. We're just shooting the shit. Here we go. DC, what's your thoughts?
This is a one and done I can get behind. And just there's a slight difference in, I don't know, the production or whatever, those tracks that were on the heavy metal soundtrack. But can you imagine, I'm thinking, if I pulled my two least favorite tunes off of this album and put the two that were on the heavy metal soundtrack on this album, holy cats, that'd be like knocking it right out of the park, especially Radar Rider. I love that tune.
I wonder why those never, you would have thought that.
Probably contractually, when you make those deals with the movie people, sometimes in your rigs, it's not like you were Grand Funk or Sammy Hagar, and you can kind of throw your weight around a little bit. But I'm thinking contractually, that had to be the only reason why those two didn't make it on this
heavy
album.
Metal, Sammy Hagar's heavy metal was on Standing Hampton.
Yep, and Grand Funk's tune, Queen Bee, was on that Grand Funk Lives album where they tried to come back in the early 80s. The difference between this album here and what we covered previous with Whitford, St. Holmes, and St. Paradise is the ability to consistently write catchy riffs and hooks. And it's always the songs, the songs, the songs. And this Jerry Riggs is quite the talent. And I'm not surprised he's been able to carry on a music career these many years, going from Pat Travers, now 38 Special. The guy's got the goods. And I'm very happy that although Riggs didn't make the inroads that I believe they should have, at least this guy who wrote all songs on this album has been able to continue in the music industry and make a career because, and just like a little side thing, there's nothing as sad as somebody that's extremely talented in any area, but just doesn't get that break or isn't able to sustain earning a living what he is very talented in and passionate about. So I'm glad this guy found, steady employment, just like Denny Karamasi. As long as you want a gig, you're going to get one thrown your way. So as Ernesto's covered a few of the songs, and I'll just give a slight synopsis.
Yeah, you're good.
Ready or Not to kick off the album, right out of the gates with a catchy rocker, just how you want to introduce this band to the public. Great riff, great vocals. It's catchy, memorable chorus, everything you want in that initial impression. Second tune, One Night Affairs. It's like we said, it's a classic, and it's perfect follow-up to the lead off of the album. All four band members sing in this group, and that is always a plus. And they use that to great effect on a lot of these tunes. But One Night Affairs is a very good tune too. Third Up is Over and Over, kind of a power ballad. Nice restrained guitar solo that matched the feel of the song. Take It Off. Hey, it's a tune about pleading with a stripper to take off all her clothes.
Yeah, what's funny? I was listening to that track like the other night when I was laying.
Yeah,
because a lot of times I do a lot of work when I'm trying to go to sleep, and it popped up, and I'm listening to the lyrical content, and I'm going.
We're veering into.
Am I hearing that correctly?
You did. We're veering into Motley Crue territory here.
Well, this is track way beyond Motley Crue. No offense. Hey, Daddy Bog, thanks for coming by. But
the lyrics are kind of hokey. But I mean, how many of these songs were there back in the day like this? I prefer if you're going to veer into sexual themes and lust in a song. I like clever lyrics and like the way Van Halen would approach it. It's always very funny and clever when they veered into the subject matter, which I've got no problem with.
Well, think you mentioned Van Halen though, but David Lee Roth wrote all the lyrics, and he's an amusing, funny guy, smart, very intelligent. He knows how to intertwine all that in there really well. So all the Van Halen lyrics are, they're great. They're great,
very clever stuff. Yeah. The good news is it's only 2 minutes and 58 seconds, so we're in and out pretty quickly. This is a little bit of step down from the previous three tunes. Writing on the Wall is another tight little rocker, twin Queenish guitar leads, and we're back on track. Good tune.
Okay, Marlon. Marlon, don't hold back, please.
Yeah.
Don't hold back.
I wish he would come out of his shell.
I wish he would be truthful to the panel.
Yeah.
Let us know what you really think.
Let us know what you really think on music. Oh, we ought to. Too bad we have to have both. Too bad we don't have both Logan
Ooh,
and
can have a
Marlon
face
up
off.
battling like rockin' sock'em robots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Depending on Love, I just wrote, it's just okay. It's got like a lot of hokey lyrics, and I am not a lyrics guy, but when they irritate me, looking for a certain someone, does your mama know about me, blah, blah, blah. But it's this song I wrote, it's a little Van Halen-ish in parts, and they sing Depending on Love about 20 times. That kind of rubs me the wrong way, too. 7 Girls on the Loose, fast-paced rocker. He wants to be taken to a place where the girls are on the loose.
Don't we all?
Oh, especially on Friday night.
Well,
we're all
at least I did in 1982.
Oh, yeah. Life was a lot different for old D in 82 as well. Musically, I like this better than the lyrics. It's just the same approach lyrically as there's on thousands of songs. Christine, good tune with lyrics about a girl that aren't so by the book. This is probably one of the ones I would have swapped out with heavy metal, one of those tunes. Don't Walk Away, slower pace. And I didn't mention, this album is sequenced very nicely. You get keyboards featured here. And of the few slower tunes on this album, this one's my favorite. Too Strong, we end with a rocker, good tune. Riggs wraps it up in a neat 38 minutes, just the way most albums should be. And if you want my vote,
I want your rank. What do you give this out of 10?
I'm right with Ernesto. I give this an 8.
An 8.
Solid 8. Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got an 8 and an 8 from DC and Ernesto. Lounge Dweller gave it a 7.5. We've got an 8 from Logan. So if you've heard it, we will put this in our average. We're all here talking about music, ladies and gentlemen. So if you do know the record, give us your ranking. So we'd love to have it. All right, DC, thank you so much. That was very inspirational. More cool. Yeah, Morris. This is what we do on the One and Done series. We take a look at an album from an artist that just put out the one release. For the most part. We did look at was it Whitford St. Holmes? It had 2 releases out, and we'd call that 2 and done. But
yeah,
we're allowed to fudge things a little.
We fudged it once, but we'll never make that mistake again. But anyway, so there you go. All right, thank you, DC. John, the music nut. What's your thoughts on Riggs 1982?
All right, thanks a lot, guys, and thank you all so much for joining us in the live chats. Now, I just did a show with our friend Peter Kerr on Rock Daydream Nation, and I showed him this bad boy here, and he said, you know, the cover looks a lot heavier than the music is. It's kind of like how Abominog is for Uriah Heep. Think about that if you know the album.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is total AOR. This is not... I mean, yeah, there's great riffs, there's great guitar on it, but it's not by any means
foaming at the mouth, rabid dog. Yeah,
this looks like an album that might have been on Combat, or it could have been a metal album, but it's not.
Right.
Maybe that was part of the problem.
Yeah,
Blade.
There you go. So this album, Jerry Riggs. Jerry Riggs is like a Dave Meniketti from Y&T. Great singer, fantastic lead guitar player. Ditto Rick Emmett from Triumph. Same role, only Rick and Gilmore, the drummer, would also they traded off on the lead vocals. So this album here, what I've been saying about this a lot, and Logan, thank you for kicking ass in the Warehaus, as well as being in my head. I said this sounds like Loverboy with more grit. Marlon, come on, Grant. Don't dump this with that AOR crap. No, this is great AOR, Marlon.
Yeah.
Love your opinions, but yeah.
Marlon and Logan, we're going to have to take them outside.
This is good. Definitely check this out.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
No, it's all good.
What is, no offense, but what is that noise I'm hearing?
I'm not sure.
Something's vibrating. Like a
electrical, something electrical.
I think it's on mine.
We have, every time I do a damn show with DC, we have a problem. I'm just joking. No, we don't. But
is it ending now?
Yes, we do.
I think I'm facing my mic in a different direction. It should be okay now.
Okay, anyway, go ahead. Sorry, John.
Oh, that's all good.
This shows a train wreck.
It's going to be the same. I am very glad that Byron brought this up because this is a kick-ass AOR album. This is great. I see myself enjoying this album for the next few decades. This is awesome. Ready or not, kicks ass and takes names. Great riff, catchy chorus, nice little guitar fills in there from Jerry. This is very good. One Night Affairs. How the hell is this not a hit? This is so
I don't know.
catchy. I don't know. If any of you know, put it in the comments because wow.
Schnee, do you know anything about this record? Why? Anything about Riggs from
probably
back
owned
in
this
the day?
originally in '82.
He probably saw him live.
He probably did. Steve Schnee's the man. Oh my gosh. Now that's why I wrote, how is this not a hit? Very melodic keyboards, very new wavy.
Yeah.
Excellent song. Very good lyrical guitar solo in it. Over and over is like the more emotional power ballad. Nice little bass lines there in the chorus. It's very kick it off. Reminds me of Journey, but Greg Raleigh Journey. When they had Steve and Greg there, that same musical vibe there before Jonathan King came on board.
Right.
Very good. Writing on the Wall reminds me of Break It Up by Foreigner off of Foreigner 4.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Oh yeah. He doesn't disappoint, ladies and gentlemen.
Schnee's bringing it tonight.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely.
It wasn't a hit because I loved it. Because Marlon doesn't like anything that's a hit. I've noticed that.
Yeah, so Running on a Wall, that's one of my least favorite tracks. It does sound like Break It Up, but it's still good. Dependent on Love, yeah, they do talk about, they recite that line over and over in the chorus. It's good. It's a well-constructed song. The pre-chorus is good as well. Those three songs from Take It Off, Running on a Wall, Depending on Love, they're all good. And then it gets great again with Girls on the Loose. To me, I hear that. That's like the set ender. That's the song you play at the end of the night and all the women are out on the floor dancing. This is a cool
That's
tune.
the song you play to get the women loose.
That's right.
Is that what you mean?
No doubt about it.
My goodness.
Christine sounds like Donnie Iris. And I mean that in a good way.
Oh, you're going to cause Stephen Schnee's Donnie Iris meter to go off.
There you go.
I can hear it. I think that's what that noise was.
Like. It's good. AOR. Nice solo during the outro. Don't Walk Away, the ballad. That reminds me of Toto's ballads. Those classic ballads they had there.
That tune is a really good ballad, John. And I mentioned that I thought that was a really stellar, slower tune here.
Yeah, this is very good. Love the harmonies on the chorus here. Very good song. This and One Night Affairs, I listen to these, I'm like,
oh, Daddy Ball.
He's not big.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Good stuff. It is a good. Seriously,
Marlon,
check out this
yeah,
album.
you told me that, but Marlon, I'm glad you mentioned it again. I'm going to put it down in our ranking so we compile this so we get a proper rating. So thank you for sending that again. All right, go ahead, keep going, John. Sorry.
No, good. Yeah, and by the way, if you want to check this album out, I didn't see it on Spotify, but on YouTube they have an excellent recording of it.
Yeah, they do. That's why I was listening to it
while I was waiting for my record store to get this for me.
That's where I listened to 2 or 3 clips, and I thought, well, I'm going to save to listen to the whole album when I get it, and ordered the thing.
Yeah.
I did not do that for Whitford, St. Holmes, or St. Paradise, but this album, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Too
Oh
strong.
yeah, Pete Bumblefoot interview. Yeah.
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 Passionate rockin' track ends the album. Again, it sounds a little familiar, but I really like it. I like the drum fills. This is a good closer. What's great about this album is the band is playing for the song. There's nothing too flashy about it. It's all well played, very well recorded. I mean, this outside of the keyboards, you wouldn't know this is an 80s record, in my opinion, because of the craftsmanship on here and the recording.
It could have been 70s.
Or 70s would have been even more. 70s is when we have the timeless records.
When you mention, of course, this is a product of the 80s, but you don't have any of that 80s gimmickry. You don't have the big drums. You don't have the gated drum sound. There's no like synths on here that make you go,
Right.
Yeah,
it could have been recorded in 78, 77.
Right.
There's no anything that's a gimmick. So, yeah.
Exactly. Definitely check this out. Our friends, 8.5 on my list. Thanks.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
5.
There you go.
Good.
That's right.
And Ken White mentioned about Riggs on the heavy metal soundtrack, and I had the heavy metal soundtrack, and I do remember, especially Radar Rider. I cannot believe I didn't pursue this group Riggs and find out, of course it wasn't what it is now. It was harder to find information about random bands. But I mean, if they had a release out, I just didn't pursue it. And I loved what they did for the heavy metal soundtrack. But here we are all these years later, and I bought it. So
So Ken, have you heard this record? The only debut record they ever did. Do you know this? I'm just curious. And thanks for coming over from Sea of Tranquility. It warms my heart.
This is just a great hard rock album. I love it. It's good. I mean, even though I just gave it an 8, I still think it's a great album.
Hey, the Darkroom Wizards here. Oh, were they there? I remember them. Yeah, there you go. See, everybody remembers them from the heavy metal soundtrack.
Yeah.
Now, when this was brought up, I didn't remember them from that, because when I think heavy metal soundtrack, I think Don Felder, I think Sammy Hagar, I think Devo, I think Cheap Trick, but Riggs just went by the wayside for me.
Yep.
All right, everyone, we need to check out School of Hard Knocks by Pat Travers.
Yeah.
I have that one.
We need Byron's review.
Yeah, Byron probably has it.
Well, I do have it. I'm going to talk about it here in a minute. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You've heard it. Okay, Ken, since we're compiling this, I need your rating out of 10. So give me your rating so we can get a proper rating from everybody that's heard it here. If you can do that, that'd be great. But yeah, I have Byron's little synopsis, so let me bring that up real quick.
Oh, okay.
That's how we are in the warehouse. Byron's out on date night, trophy wife.
Yeah.
I saw Mrs. Bolt checking in, trying to cover for him a little bit.
Yeah, they sent her to a friend's house.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're playing Yahtzee or something.
Yahtzee or backgammon.
Pictionary.
He's a big Yahtzee player, right?
How about
Sorry.
Okay, here we go. Byron Bolt, here's his thoughts on the record. Ken, 8.5. Okay, excellent.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. Byron, thoughts on it. He says he hears Night Ranger, Hughes Thrall, Montrose, and a Little Cats in Space. I prefer the first side. Favorites are Ready or Not, One Night Affair, Over and Over, Don't Walk Away. Byron would give this a solid 8.
Oh, wow.
That seems to be the general consensus. Okay. I mean, this is after only hearing it like 3 times. So, stuff can gain in your appreciation.
I've been listening to it ever since for a couple weeks. And I think I've got it probably a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago. Yeah. All right. So I've got Byron's 8, and then wait a minute, what was it? 8.5 from Ken.
Yeah.
Holy crap, this is awesome. See what else we got to go. Marlon, way to go. He big fan of yours. How about flipping Schnee?
Because Steve said he was going to change the name of his channel to Schnee of Tranquility.
He should. Strip Yahtzee. I'll avoid that at Dog, not my battle. Yeah.
What?
That's why, yeah, he is
That's
the
right.
man. Oh my God, everyone. Take one moment of silence for the Parish of Rock. Parish, how are you?
All
Nice
right.
to see you. Not listen. Oh, Parish knows this. And he's over in the UK, for God's sakes.
Yeah. I like what he says. The front cover looked hardcore punk. Yeah, because it does look indie. And it does look kind of metal, but I think that's the perfect encapsulation. Hardcore punk.
It looks punk, but my God, it's not.
No.
So you haven't heard it since the early 80s, but Parish, what do you remember about it? And if you can give us your rating, we can compile it into our average. Maybe I think it might be worth re-listening to, Parish.
Yeah.
CD Junk, change your channel name. I am too a CD junkie. Oh, it's spreading like the plague.
Me too.
You know what? The cover also looks like. I don't know if John might know this. Remember the rods?
The rods.
The rods. I never really listened to them. The first time I heard them was on Jim Florentine's Metal Midget show on Ozzy's Boneyard. That's the first time I heard the rods. The rods are great though. I gotta pick
that
up
cover reminds me of that cover reminds me of the rods.
Covers.
They have like the dog always in the front, the strange dog or something. It always reminds me of them.
Nice.
All right. So anyway, we've got BM Bolts. My thoughts, I don't have to go much into the record. You've all went into it enough. I think side one's probably stronger than side two, but there's not anything that I would throw off of this record. I find it all a pleasant listen. I think the sequencing's good. Ready or Not, the way it knocks what a way to start out the record, for God's sake.
Oh, it's perfect. Right. Perfect for this band to introduce to the listening audience.
Yeah, it's like a 1-2 punch. Yeah. 1-3 punch, because you've got Ready or Not, One Night Affairs over and over. It's great. Take It Off. Yeah, maybe that's a little kind of male chauvinist, but hey,
it's all right.
It's all right. It's put it in perspective. But I think it's all decent. I like it. And immediately when I went and test drove some of these tracks on there, I was in. If you like AOR, Marlon hates AOR. Yeah. But this is a worthy release. I think it's well worth picking up.
I don't think it's really that heavy AOR. I think it's more of a hard rock album. I think one song sounds AOR.
But I think it kind of, well, okay, maybe the one track, but I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
It gets Ernesto's road-tested seal of approval.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Listen to it while he's tooling around. It's a good album for that as well.
Nice.
I remember seeing Travers live, and he opened with Ready or Not a couple of times. No way.
Oh, wow.
That's a real gesture to have somebody in your band and you open your show with one of their tunes.
That's nice.
That's a real kind gesture right there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, like I said, we have an 8, 7.5, an 8, an 8, a 9.
What do you think, Grant?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to give it an 8.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Just like everyone else. Parish. Hi, everyone. I definitely will go and dig it out. From memory, I liked it, but didn't think it stood out from the crowd. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. All right. I'm giving it, we'll take that, Parish, and I will take my 8, and we will calculate what we've got. And we come up with an 8.5. No, we have an 8.05.
Okay. I was going to say, only 2 of us gave an 8.5 out of a bunch of us.
Yeah.
So
it's a solid 8.
I got to get more into the rods. I'll bet you that T-shirt kicks ass.
I do know that those rods CDs were reissued on Rock Candy.
Oh, nice.
Right.
I don't have any of them, or I haven't heard them. I suck, Marlon. Man, that's harsh.
Man, that Marlin.
What do the rods sound like? What do the rods sound like?
They're a heavy metal band. They're not that heavy.
Listen to them.
They sound a little like Riot.
Yeah,
okay.
There you go.
Oh well,
and, you know the guy.
I could go higher.
One of the guys is related to Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, that is
Logan Marlin attacking the host. It's a rough crowd.
And Marlin, you got to remember who signs your paycheck here at the warehouse.
Yeah, do you want hours? Hey, when you ask to pick up hours, and you go to my office and you ask, can I have some overtime? Who always comes through when you want to move some pallets?
That's true.
Yep.
Boy, he's bold.
But you know what? A lot of people bring up the soundtrack. A lot of people bring up the soundtrack, but I think you got to listen to the album first. I think you should before you listen to the soundtrack, because you might be disappointed and you'll be like, oh, wow, it's not my thing, you know? You got to give it a try.
Thank you, Marlon. Appreciate it.
You know?
Parrish would definitely have a Riggs t-shirt. All right.
Yeah, you can.
The Parrish of Rock is all over it.
He is.
That's why we call him the Parrish. So there you go. We have an 8.0, ladies and gentlemen. So we can certify this is definitely a record to pick up.
It's the highest rated of the 3 we've done so far. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Oh, it's by far the one that I like the best out of all these one and dones that we've done.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish it would have done something and maybe given him a career, but you know, if it it failed, you know, we would never have had Jerry playing in Pat Travers' band. So
right. Now you said he was playing in 38 Special.
I want to steal this idea and do a one and done for Quincy Blanket. I don't even know what those are.
Of Secrecy.
And
sound like kind of flock of seagull type band.
I'm not going to sue you.
Yeah. But did anybody check to see if it was available on vinyl? Like if somebody was selling it on vinyl?
Oh, you can get it like on Discogs.
Oh, you can? What do you think it's going for right now?
Well, we can look it up.
Let's look it up.
If we only had a way to look things up.
What's interesting about Radar Rider is it's the song that opens the heavy metal movie.
Yeah.
It's the first tune you hear. And I saw a video on YouTube with one of the band members' ex-wives talking about going to the premiere. They had no idea where Riggs' songs were going to be in the movie. And sitting there in the theater, and the movie starts, and it's their tune, Radar Rider, that opens up the movie. Says they were just thrilled beyond belief.
Awesome.
It's not very cheap. If you want like one that's in beautiful shape, it's $25. Get the CD. The CD's $10 from Wounded Bird.
Yeah.
Don't mess
You'll
with the
be
vinyl.
all good.
Don't mess with the vinyl. Don't go and say, "Oh, Grant, I can't believe you said that." You want to say something about
School of Hard Knocks?
I don't know that. Similar to Rig stuff, heavier. I don't know it.
No.
Thank God that we have Johnny Music Nut here to interpret Marlon. Because what is that? Soak?
Son of Hard Knocks.
I know.
Marlon, don't look at any soft stuff.
What's this Billy Satellite? I'm going to ask Schnee if he knows what Billy Satellite is.
Not to be confused with Billy Falcon.
Yes.
Or Billy Strings. Don't get it.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Billy the
Blanket of Secrecy or Far from Flock of Seagulls.
Yeah.
Take that back or I'll call you dummy in public. Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
What
is
is Blanket of Secrecy? What are they like? Thompson twins? And I like the Thompson twins, so be careful. What are they like? Seriously.
No, they're like the Call.
Like the Call. Okay.
I'm just taking a guess.
Maybe. We can't get enough. We can't get Schnee to actually give us a proper answer on anything. Marlon doesn't like anything, but he does like
live cereal.
He does like Life cereal. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we. Oh, I'll send you. Oh, okay. Well. All right. Secret files. All right. All right, everybody. We had some people show up tonight. I didn't think anybody would come, but I like to do these shows live if I can do them because I don't like to edit. And I want to thank all these gentlemen for coming on tonight and talking rigs. We can give this definitely a great stamp of approval. So on that, I'm going to thank Ernesto, DC, and John the Music Nut. I do want to thank everybody in the chat. Stay tuned on Sunday night because Stephen Schnee will be in the warehouse. We are doing a This is Power Pop show live where we will be going back and forth. Schnee has picked, I think he picked about 10 tracks. We're going to play by ear. We're going to go 2 hours. And as always on the warehouse, we split up each hour into 2. And we're just going to play tracks that we've both picked and talk about them. And the whole goal is to turn you on to some of these bands and some of these power pop acts and these tracks. So we will be live here Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please show up. We want to see you in the chat and we can hang out and chat. And I'm kind of mixing up the warehouse, the listening parties, and as opposed to me just sitting there by myself staring into space.
I love that.
Now I'm bringing in co-hosts, and it makes it a lot more fun.
I love that format where you actually talk about the tracks and have a little conversation. I like what you're doing there.
But we have a problem because Marlon, who hates everything, power pop. Why are you turning your man? You're getting the wrong idea.
Marlon, you bring it and you bring it hard. None of this melodic toe tapping stuff. You bring like the hard stuff.
You don't like the raspberries? Come on.
He wants to hear Michael Schenker. He wants to hear UFO MSG.
Oh.
You know what you should do, Grant? You and Byron, you could do a Pat Travers live stream one day, especially for Marlon.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, next weekend we'll do Pat Travers.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the Grand Funk. What about the Grand Funk stream show?
The what?
The Grand Funk streaming show.
Well, we might do that.
Okay. And then
hey, Eric, welcome.
John's got to come up with something, John.
Is it Snow White?
You guys beat me to the punch.
What?
What ideas?
I know.
Snow White.
What's the deal with them? I've never heard of. Although they've released a few EPs prior to the Act of God album. Eric? What year are we talking about? What kind of band are they? Because I like that everyone's giving us some ideas because that's what this show's about. So if you've got bands that we should look at, we could probably take a look at them. So what's the deal, Eric, on that one? Kansas, Saga, Travers. That's his thing. Yeah.
Listen to Los Kansas.
That Kansas is awful proggy. Jeez.
It's an American thrash band.
Snow White is? Snow White? Oh.
Yeah.
Ken White, good rock with a little heavier edge. I love Schenker and UFO, though, man.
The man has good taste.
Yeah, well, all right. All three of those, Marlon. Marlon trying to make me okay. He upsets me, calls me names.
We got an interesting one and done in the queue. Something really off the beaten path.
Go ahead, what?
Was that one that has got the homeless guy as the lead singer? What was that? Love?
For next month.
Yeah.
Joe Beck is going to join us next month for a one and done episode. The band is called
Sex, Love, Death.
Sex, Love, Death.
Yes. And that album cover, it belies the music within because it's actually pretty good music.
I have it on order. I have not heard it yet. I ordered it from some record store and I was on Discogs and it said, hey, make an offer. So I gave them $2 less than what they wanted and they took it right away. So I don't think anybody knows this record, but that's what's fun in this type of show. we're covering these bands that absolutely no one knows.
Who knows? There could be a big resurgence in Riggs. They may reform after this. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, Logan, do you know that band? I have a second.
I know the album cover is rather risque.
The album cover is tantalizing.
Bordering on S&M.
Pornography.
Yeah.
How about Trigger? Great one and done. To Perish, that's a good one. I do know that Rock Candy put out that Trigger CD, and it's expensive.
Oh, okay.
And I think Pete Pardo might have talked about Trigger. He might have already talked about it. I don't know. But I'd like to look at it. And the other one we have to do Aviary, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Because we have to do Aviary.
Bring in Schnee.
And bring in Schnee for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bad interview. Okay. Well, All right, everybody. I guess we can go. I guess we've done it. We've shot the shit with everybody. I'm in. All right, Schnee's in on Aviary, which I think is an absolutely brilliant record. So maybe we could do a double whammy. Like we'll do that. I keep forgetting the name of it. America, Sex, and Drugs. What was it? Wait a minute. It was called Life, Sex, and Death.
Sex, drugs, and apple pie.
Life, Sex, and Death by the Silent Majority. We're going to look at that. And let's see if we can get Aviary on there for next month as well. So we can do a couple of one and dones. So we'll work on that.
Schedule's getting pretty busy here on the Rock. On the
Warehouse. Well, no, next month is not very busy.
Well, I must just be a part of every show you're doing then.
Well, maybe. That's the only shows that are on there.
This is probably a good time to cut Denny loose, that pant load, while we're a little bit on the down.
Yeah,
mode.
I've never heard of Life.
Get the hell out of the
Warehouse. I like it when someone just says, "Hey, let's look at this," and I've never heard it, and I just go, "Let's look at it. Let's see if it's any good." I love it. It's like forging into new territory, I love it. So
look what Marlon put as a sign off. Good night, love you all.
He tears us apart, and then
isn't that sweet?
And he's all full of love at the end.
I got you, Marlon. That's right.
Oh, yeah, we can't do Aviary. They have more than one CD.
Oh, I only thought they had one.
You have all three of them? Well, we can't do Aviary, but we could do Aviary
as just a feature.
Feature.
Yeah.
It can't be one and done. Has anyone heard the band Fur? They were a Kiss ripoff. No. One and done, Jonathan?
Interesting.
One and done? I don't know. I have to check it out. The inventory is stacked. All right.
What about that back palette? Did you guys get to that back palette of vinyl?
It's all that import vinyl. And the palette cutouts in the corner.
And Joan Osborne.
Logan gets to stay up later on Fridays. Isn't that funny? He's up at 9:00. Chicago metal band. They released their one album in '88. They toured with Metallica and Raven.
Yeah. They actually have 3 albums. I already looked it up.
All right. Do Quincy and Blanket of Secrecy. Okay. I can send files to whoever wants them. All right. If you're going to be on them, we can do them.
Who would have thought Jack Klugman had any musical talent at all?
I was thinking about that too. I thought it was only Felix Unger.
Quincy.
I thought Felix Unger
did not like the Quincy album.
Candy. Whatever happened to Fun? Power Pop.
Great sports writer.
Jimmy.
I remember them.
I remember them. Schnee, is it Power Pop or Power Pop adjacent?
Whatever happened to Fun? The single is Power Pop.
I need to have Schnee weigh in on this. Candy, whatever happened to Fun? Power Pop or Power Pop adjacent?
Are you still alive?
Yeah. Well, we're wrapping it up. It is obvious that DC stands for dummy.
What? What?
Candy is Power Pop adjacent.
Yeah.
Was there any? What was the track that you say is Power Pop though? DC?
title track.
Is the
Whatever
title
happened to
track
fun?
Power Pop though?
That is Power Pop, and I'll fight anyone that says otherwise.
Well, see, when we do this show, I mean, Schnee's already given me his tracks for Sunday. He doesn't know what I'm playing, but I'm sure I'll have Power Pop adjacent ones. He's probably going to tear me apart on Sunday.
Right.
I'm really kind of stressed out about it.
He'll have his red marker ready for you.
Yeah.
So I married a record collector. Hey, how's it going? So the Fur album, a Kim Foley thing, I had a couple of sealed copies at the store I worked at.
Maybe.
I don't know. We're going to have to do
Maybe.
some research on here because we've got a lot of great ideas for shows.
Well, we'll get the research
ideas for the
department
rest of
on
the year.
Oh.
this.
Logan,
It's Power Pop horizontal.
can you come back from aisle 7 and start doing some research? What is Power Pop adjacent?
Well,
I just saw Enough's Enough.
Half AOR and half Power Pop, kind of like Popular and not Enough's Enough.
yeah.
Okay,
I like that.
all right, but it's very close though. You know?
Yeah, that's not worth making the distinction, I say.
No, I think it looked odd and cheap. That's what they said about. That's what they said about
Burr.
Byron Bolt.
Somewhere he's playing Twister and his ears are burning.
He's probably out playing Naked Twister with the neighbors.
Naked Twister, and they're having the
No,
boxed wine.
He probably wants to come home. Let's just say that.
Do you guys remember BZZ Biz?
I don't know who that is.
No, I don't know what that is. Malibu adjacent, son of the beach. Buy low, sell high, BM Bolt. See, young Logan has learned from the master.
This Logan is going to be rising to the very top of our organization in no time.
He is. Young Logan is going to be corrupted. Goodness gracious. Okay, here we go. Power Pop adjacent music is similar to Power Pop, but doesn't stick to the Power Pop blueprint, like Jellyfish. One of the finest pop bands out there, but much more sophisticated than Power Pop.
I just look at Jellyfish as melodic pop. Melodic
there
hard
is something
pop.
that I'm going to play on Sunday that is Power Pop adjacent, but I think everyone needs to hear it. So, and it's my show. So damn it. But yeah, okay. So that helps me.
More than one album.
What's that?
I'm just responding to Morris. I think Elastica did more than one album.
They did two records, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first one's incredible. The second one, not so much.
Okay.
But I haven't heard it. Fur looks like to be a 10cc thing. Graham Goldman and Lil Cram. Oh, recorded at Strawberry Studios. Okay, I have to look into it. Schnee getting the definition out. He is passionate.
Yeah.
Great. Grant is going to slip in some Mariah Carey again.
Lord.
I can guarantee you I won't.
I'd like that slip into Mariah Carey.
BZZ Hard Rock from 82. Michael DeFoya on guitar. I don't know that.
Michelle Tafoya, the sports lady.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Wow. I remember Simon Townsend's Moving Target album, 1985. I have never heard it. What is it like? Is it like The Who? What is it? Get Up, Get Angry got some airplay.
That's BZZ.
Grant always loves him some Carey. Well, Echo Belly was better than Elastica, in my opinion. Check out my recent. You always plug in the goddamn shows. Check out my recent CD Junkie on them. Always plugging. God damn.
Always plugging.
Man, if we ever move into 2 albums and that, we're going to have a real plethora of fantastic artists to look at, because there's a lot of really great bands that did 2 albums and out.
Yeah. Louie and the Lovers, Rise on Epic, 1970 is a great one and done.
Wow.
Louie and
So
the
I
Lovers.
Married a Record Collector is all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys need to hear that song. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Okay. God, we have a lot of work to do. Logan, I need you to get on this pronto.
Next week's going to be brutal. Ugh.
We could do Benjamin or the Lace. I would do that one. Ugh. Wonder if Iron Horse is a one and done. I think it is. Randy Bachman produced band. Here's Schnee again. I prefer the Simon Townsend's debut solo album, but the Moving Targets album was pretty good, kind of close to AOR. And this is going to cause Marlon to gasp.
Yeah.
I have their debut album. Okay. You guys are all over it tonight. All right. I'm going to shut this dog down. The panel has things to do. Well, I have to prepare for Sunday. But anyway, I want to thank everybody in the panel. Thanks everybody for coming. Everybody in the chat, thanks so much. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. Tune in on Sunday night. It's going to be just a plethora of power pop. So yeah, go play some strip poker. All right, everybody. We'll see you. See you, Ernesto, DC, John. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
All right.
Have a great night.